My name is Megan and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free book review for All Systems Red by Martha Wells. All Systems Red is the first novella in the Murderbot series. It's a sci-fi story with action, humor, and a deeply introspective AI main character known as Murderbot. The way that I structure my reviews is I discuss the plot, the things that I liked, the things that I didn't like, and then I give the book an overall rating. So if you're interested in skipping to any one of those particular sections, I will put timestamps down in the description box below. This book takes place in a distant future, and planetary explorations are now run by corporations. These missions are overseen and protected by what's known as sec units, and they are part human, part AI, part machine constructs that are owned by the corporation. And these constructs are actually implanted with a governor so that they are unable to act and think in a way that is outside of their parameters, and it is a way for them to be controlled. At the beginning of the book, we learn that the protagonist, Murderbot, has actually hacked his governor and he has gone rogue. So he is no longer under its influence and he's able to act and think on his own, which is a big shock for him. But one of the things that Murderbot absolutely loves doing is watching TV dramas. He calls them serials, and he talks about all the time how he does his job and then he just wants to zone out and watch his serials for hours and hours on end. And he does learn a little bit about human nature and human interaction through watching these dramas, but he also learns how they are different and dramatized compared to what he experiences from humans in real life. In this novella, Murderbot is assigned to protect a small unit of scientists that has been sent to an uninhabited planet by a corporation in order to conduct research there. When parts of the mission start to go wrong, the entire group realizes that someone is out to kill them, or something is out to kill them, or another corporation is out to kill them, and this mystery about this planet and the motives of others are quickly unveiled. Despite his reluctance and social anxiety, Murderbot must work with this team of scientists, particularly the leader, whose name is Dr. Mensa, in order to uncover the mystery and essentially keep them alive. Hey guys, if you are enjoying this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well as giving this video a like to throw my channel a little bit of support. Also, I'm the author of the sci-fi book Aftermath, which is currently available via ebook on Amazon as well as physical copies. I will definitely put the links down in the description box below as well as up in the cards if you're interested in checking it out and supporting an indie author. Going on into things that I liked about this book, the first one is definitely the tone. So like I said, this is narrated by Murderbot, who is not human, but he does have organic parts. And a lot of the questions come up about the ethics regarding Murderbot having organic parts, but also having computer parts. Regardless, the tone is definitely humorous and sarcastic. He definitely does not understand humans. He doesn't like humans. He doesn't want to be around humans, but his situation and lack of a functioning governor module forces him into social interactions, and he actually has a lot of growth as the character. And it's always funny for me to read from the perspective of robots because robots act within how they were programmed. So it's always interesting to see how an author shows character growth for something that is part computer. And I feel like Martha Wells did a really good job doing that with Murderbot and having a dynamic character. I feel like this book is definitely a good entry-level book into the science fiction genre, so if you're someone that is looking to just get into sci-fi, I would recommend this. It is fairly short. I started listening to the audiobook while my husband and I were on vacation. We listened to it together. The audiobook is only 3 hours long, and we listened to about 2 hours and 20 minutes, and then when I got home, I physically read the rest on ebook via Kindle Unlimited. So I will say that this book, because it is so short, it definitely is very accessible. The prose is very accessible. Everything about this, if you are someone that is new to sci-fi, definitely could appreciate. I also really enjoyed how the author hooked me with the mystery that was presented on this planet. So all of these scientists in Murderbot realizes that there is data missing on the maps that they were given by the corporation of the planet, and they're wondering what's hidden in those missing parts of the maps and why someone would purposely sabotage this data and if it actually is sabotage or an error. And they start to list out what it could possibly be, and that part of the story really gripped me because I wanted to know, like, what are they hiding? Why would they send a team there to prospect and research this planet but yet hide things from them? Are they trying to put them in danger? Is there something political going on? Like, I was really interested in the mystery that was presented in this particular story. And then I really did appreciate the themes that the author presented in this book, such as identity and autonomy. Like I said, Murderbot had a lot of growth over the course of this novella, and he is learning how to act on his own because he's no longer being controlled by his programming. Moving on into the things that I didn't like so much. So like I said, this book is very short. The audiobook's only 3 hours long. Talking about the audiobook, when I was listening to the audiobook and then I was reading the physical book, I will say that the narrator, in my opinion, for the audiobook just did not convey the wittiness and the sarcasm of Murderbot because it is first-person narrative. We are in the head of Murderbot, and I just feel like this book would be better experienced physically reading it. I don't think the narrator of the audiobook did a great job. I also found that this story, this world, was underdeveloped, and that goes to the fact that it's not a very long book. So I would have loved more world building. I would have loved way more fleshed out story of the mystery of this planet, the corporate greed, the corporate sabotage. We get to the climax of the story, and the climax was so quick. It was so rushed. And I felt like there were so many layers to this story that were not revealed and could have been. I was left wanting more. I was left just underwhelmed and unsatisfied with the story, considering how well the author built up this mystery. And then the ending was a little, I was ambivalent towards, so I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. So Murderbot made a decision at the end of the book that, I mean, it left open the series for more and more books, so I understand why Martha Wells did this. And I also understand, based on the themes I talked about earlier with identity and autonomy, why she had Murderbot made this decision, but it basically allowed him to have control over his own life and his own decisions rather than having someone else kind of pry and try and make him do what they want him to do or think what's best. So it does fit into that overarching theme, but I just found the ending a little bit just, I don't know, underwhelming. I just felt like the story could have been so much more fleshed out, and I just was left underwhelmed. Nothing really gripped me with regards to the world, the story, even Murderbot in general. I know that he is a beloved protagonist for a lot of people. I just did not feel that much of a connection to him or any of the characters. And having said that, this book just felt unfinished to me. All in all, I'm glad that I read All Systems Red. It's been on my TBR for the longest time. I'm glad that it was short and I could get through it quickly. And the whole reason that I wanted to read it is because Apple TV created a TV show called Murderbot based on, I guess, this entire series. I don't really know. I haven't started watching it yet. I wanted to finish this book first before I started the series. And I don't know if it is all the books in the series or if it's just based on All Systems Red. So I will attempt to watch the TV series. The problem with me is that I start to watch a TV series that is based off a book, and anytime it deviates from the book, I get so frustrated because the books are usually way better than any movie or TV show adaptation, in my personal opinion, and I feel like these screenwriters think they need to change and add to make better a story that is already very good, and they change too much and I get frustrated and stop watching. So I will attempt to watch the TV show, so stay tuned if you want me to talk about my thoughts about it. But anyway, I'm glad I read All Systems Red. I do not plan on continuing the series because, like I said, I was underwhelmed and it just didn't grip me, but I ended up giving this book 3 out of 5 stars because there's nothing that I really found problematic about it. Like I said, it's accessible, it's easy to read, and nothing about it I absolutely hated. There's nothing about it that I absolutely loved either. Alright, you guys, that is my review for All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have read this book and what you thought of it, or if you think I should continue the series. Do these books get better as they go on? Like I said, they're super short. They're one-sitting reads. I can pop a 3-hour audiobook in no problem. So see if you guys can convince me to read the rest of the series if y'all think it's worth it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon. Goodbye!